What's up, y'all? Energy Hookah is checking back in for another Hookah tutorial. Y'all ready? Because I am. Y'all ready for another Hookah tutorial? It's time for another one. Thank you guys so much for all the feedback, all the likes, all the comments, all the DMs, all the text messages. Greatly appreciated because clearly y'all liked the first. As y'all see, we fixed that sign. We ain't gotta worry about another blooper of that sign falling. Y'all see that? It's up there. It's safe. So let's get into this. So as y'all know, the first hookah tutorial, it was about how to pack the perfect bowl. In this particular tutorial, we will be talking about how to set up a hookah. I get a lot of people a lot of times contacting after they purchase the hookah and they're like, so how you supposed to set it up? So we're making a tutorial on how to set up a hookah. And not only that, we're also gonna do a little tricks and tips on how to get the perfect cloud of smoke. So y'all ready for those 2 lessons? Make sure you stay tuned. So let's get into the pieces of a hookah. So we have our stem. They may be this long, they may be shorter. It all depends on the size of your actual hookah. This particular one is a Kalimo. A standard Kalima. And then we have our vase, which is our Hookah Base, but it is called the Hookah Base with a V, as in Victor. But it is a base. Okay, I see y'all following all right. This rubber piece that will be going on our stem. This is what makes it stick inside of the vase. See the grips? Then we have this piece, which goes in the stem of the hookah. That is where you will place your actual hose. And then we have this piece. Is the piece that goes on top of the stem, which is where the bowl will go. So let's put this all together. So let's start building our hookah. So the big piece, like I stated, you'll put that on top of the stem. Just push it down. This particular valve, the open hole, you're gonna put this. Make sure it's that way with the rim of it. Make sure that part is always outside. So you're gonna put it in. After you put those 2 pieces on, it's then time to put this rubber piece on the end of the stem. So sometimes, FYI, it can be kind of hard to put on top or on it, around it. It's kind of hard to stick it in. So while you're putting this rubber piece on the end of the stem, sometimes it can get a little stuck and give you a hard time. But the best way is just keep pushing down on it. Keep pushing down on it. And if it gives you too much trouble, wet it a little bit, and sometimes that it helps it to slide on even easier. So once it's on, you are ready to stick it inside of the actual vase. So the next part of the hookah is how much water to put in the actual base of the hookah. You always want to make sure that right when it starts slamming to go up to the neck part of the vase, you want to go about midway of your hookah, about midway. And you're going to, know if you're measuring right, because you're going to have about that much of water covering your stem. You don't want to pass that much of that, because if you do, when you are inhaling or if you're blowing out, you will start tasting water. And hookah water is not good.
What the? Oh shit.
It don't taste too good. So you don't want to do that. So you want to make sure that you're paying attention. Get into it for what happens when we stick the stem inside of the base, our hookah base. You can call it either or, but it's actually the base of the hookah, but it is entitled the hookah base. So you slide it down. And I'm going to raise it up so you can see how much is in it. So as you see, it's not covering it. And the reason why I didn't cover it is because we're going to put ice in it. So if you're going to put ice in it, you want to make sure that you go even lower. So when you put the ice, it doesn't go way to the top and now you got to pull it out. It's too much. So make sure that when you do it, go low, start low. And so that way you can continue to add ice until it gets up to the amount that you want to go to. All right, so let's go ahead and add the ice to our vase. So now we're going to add some ice that I have put in this cup to our hookah. And yes, my hands are clean. Oops. All right. And as we were doing prior to, we're going to put it back in. If you notice when I got ready to put the stem in, after I had put the water inside, well, the ice inside, it was easier to slide in. So it's just something about that water that's around the rubber that helps it just help it not be as hard to stick the stem in. So as I stated, if that rubber is ever too hard for you to put it on the stem, put some water on it because it helps it just slide. Some of this sounds real sexual, but y'all get the point. So let's get into why is it that if you put the ice, what is the benefits of you putting ice in your actual hookah? So two things that is actually benefiting. One is it cuts down on the harshness of the smoke. So when you are actually putting the coal on top of the bowl, it cuts down on it being so harsh. Because you know, like when you first pulling it, right when you are first pulling it, it's like starts choking you and stuff. That actually, the ice actually in your hookah cuts that down. It's not as harsh. The other thing about putting ice in your hookah is it makes you have those big clouds. So the colder your water, the bigger your clouds. Remember that. Colder the water, bigger the clouds. I said colder the water, the bigger the clouds. I said colder the water, the bigger the clouds. I said. And after we have connected all our little pieces, we have put our stem inside, it is now time to put our hose. Make sure that that is on there. Now granted, sometimes if this little piece gets stuck inside, you can take like a pin. I wouldn't recommend a knife because I wouldn't want nothing to happen to y'all. So just take a pen, a regular ink pen, stick it inside and just pull it out. All right. You can either leave it in the valve or you can put it already on your hose. You want to make sure that you put this side in. This side is where you hold. This is the side that you put into the actual stem. You hold, put into. Okay? So usually the longer piece is what's going to be used to actually smoke out of. This piece is going to go inside the stem. All right? So let's put our hose into the stem. Just like so. Make sure that it's secure. Use your tray. It may be this size, it may be smaller, it all depends. They can get really big or they can get really small, but it all depends on your actual hookah. Usually the smaller the hookah, the smaller the tray is going to be. But you put that at the very top. Like so. And our hookah is ready to set our bowl on top and we can begin smoking. Do y'all remember how to pack the bowl? Y'all remember, right? Because we had a lesson, pop quiz. So we just put it, making sure that our what? The little hole is open. Pack around Today we are smoking blueberry muffin from Omari. I probably missaid that word, but y'all get it. F-U-M-A-R-I. Omari. So let's pack it. So, as stated like last time, we're gonna make sure that our middle hole is open. And placing our full shiny part down. How please. Let's set our coals on top and let's take a smoke. And as mentioned as last time, all products that you have seen today on the tutorial can be found on the website. So make sure if you haven't already, check it out. Oh, let's take a hit. Things you want to take heed of when smoking your hookah is the actual, slide this thing over, making sure that I don't turn into charcoal. Y'all remember, this smoke inside that you see is the smoke that you are actually about to pull up. So the amount of smoke that you see is the amount of smoke that you're about to pull. If you think that is way too much smoke for you, you will want to do this. You'll hear it and you'll see it clear out. Another thing to take heed of is on one side you have where the hose is. On the very next side of the stem is a gauge. That gauge, you can monitor how much smoke you want. Like if you want all the smoke coming, you will keep that tight. The looser you make it, the less smoke you're going to be pulling. So that also helps if it starts getting too harsh because the charcoal is burning the shisha. If it's almost at the end but you still yet is enjoying your session, you can start opening up the gauge. Just keep turning and you'll know that it's turning. So lefty loosey, righty tighty. So if you start turning to the left, you'll start seeing that it'll start like opening up. It won't be as tight. So the looser that it is, the more smoke that you're going to be releasing. So we have come to the end of our second tutorial. I do hope that you guys enjoyed. Also, please remember that if you have any other suggestions or anything that you would like to know that you always have questions about but you would like for me to go in depth on explaining it, make sure that you DM it or you can leave a comment under the tutorial. Also, make sure that you check us out on YouTube because we are there as well. Like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can find us at Energy Hookah. And I do apologize for the delay. I meant to put this tutorial out last month, but last month was very beastie. This whole year has been beastie, but last month was definitely beastie. I lost two close and dear people to me. I lost my aunt on August 8th from COVID. And 2 days later, I lost my uncle. So it did take a lot out of me. So make sure that you hang tight with those that you love. And those that you love, make sure that you are telling them that you love them. because the next day isn't promised. Life is short, so make sure that you take advantage of every moment and opportunity that you have with your family, your friends, your significant others. Every time that you have that opportunity to tell them that you love them, make sure that you tell them that. Definitely don't want to give people their roses when they can no longer smell them. If you're living in some trying times, very draining times, so make sure you bring the best energy to people, because you never know what battles they're fighting. So make sure to love yours. Y'all be great.
Vibe Music Collective.
I used to be a broke whole motherfucker, now I got enough to make a whole. Know a nigga been about his paper lately, broke whole motherfucker, now I got a